So I I turn on the to look at the gold price, and it's at 22.10, up $16. It was 21.94 yesterday, 93 yesterday, and it's been flopping around between 20 2160 and 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 2200, but I think it just touched 2200. But this is it, man. Broke out. I can't believe it broke out today. Now, last week I'm picking up my silver. My silver's at the post office already. In my PO box that I ordered on the channel. You can watch the video. I did a special playlist for precious metals, and I think I did one for investments also. I don't know. I don't remember. But I just bought 20 silver eagles. So I was like, oh wow, under $30. They were under $30 from not SD Bullion, but from the coin exchange, or one of those other big ones on, excuse me, on eBay. And it was a great price. I was like, $29. I mean, that's only a few dollars more than I was paying from my local coin dealer like 3 years ago. I mean, I was paying 22 3 years ago when it was 18. So, but a year ago, let's say a year or two ago, I was paying 20, 24, 25, and I was like, at 25, I was a buyer. At 25, I was like, wow. So I was like, man, this gold. Remember, silver follows gold, and silver's been hanging around $24 for what? For like a year. But gold has went up from 2,000 to 2,200, but silver hasn't jumped up like that. I mean, I could click on charts and all that stuff. I'm not going to do that right now. I'm going by memory. Yeah, you know what? What happens if you click on it? Let's go to the. Let's do the 5 year. All right, we're at 20. We're at 24. $25. It went down. It was at 22. It was at $23 in January. So you can see here that from about this time last year to now, for the past year, it's been swinging around 24. Okay, so that's what I said. That's just what I said. Okay, but it was really low. Oh, really low. It was 21 in March 1 year ago, and then in April it jumped up to 24. Let's say it actually went up to 26 at some point, and it was really low. That's why I said $18. Okay, so it's 18 in August of 22. It's going to be 2 years in August. So and then when was the last time it was low like that? $19 was in 2020. Okay, so it's been swinging around 24 for basically 4 years, with a dip in 22. I guess the end of the pandemic thing. But that was pretty short. That was from what? May to October. May, June, July, August, September. That was for 6 months, 5, 6 months. And that's it. And if we go, and that's from 20, let's go out a little further. Let's go to all. Why not? All right. So this is what we were just looking at from 2020 to present, right? Okay. And this is that 2009 spike, which really is BS, because you can get a spike. I mean that sell, right? So if you sold in 2011 for $50, you're good as gold. And the same thing with 1980. I mean, for a day, right? No one would buy it. See, this is the thing. If it jumps to 50, there's a good chance no one's buying. I'm talking about for a few days or a week. You know what I mean? You could ask. That's the ask. Okay, but I don't want to say no one's buying, but it's just I don't know. I doubt it. I mean, if you could sell at that, then sell, right? Because then it came back down. Then you could have sold it at 50 and bought at 15. So it was at the 15 between right. That's when I bought a lot of silver between 2013 and 2020. So that for 5 years I hung around 15, 16, $17 for 5 years. We had the spike over here for about 2 years, 2 year spike, and then it was back at 15 ish between 2008 and 2010 for a couple of years. So we have 2 years, 2 years, 5 years, and then the past four with 6 months here. A 6 month dip that was like the previous 5 years, and then the 2 years here, and then from 2003, it went up from 2003 to 2010. So for these 7 years, it basically went up, right? And then stood flat here, and then went up, and then stood flat here. So here's one price. Believe it or not, that's another price here. Then this is another price here. Then this is another price. So 1979 to 1979 to, wow, man, to 2005. 79. You're talking about 25 years, pretty flat, right? That's a long time, man. They really put our economy on hold, and well, that's when real estate was cheap. Things stood the same for those 20. I'm gonna except for the late 70s, and then you had the Black Friday and all that in the early 80s. So I'm gonna say from 85 to 2005, which was a significant part of my young adulthood, life stood the same. I mean, if you were an adult in school and work, if you're 50 years old or older, 50 to 60, 50 to 70, and you were working and doing, and you were hustling and bustling like you weren't a teenager, I'm saying, between 85 and 2005, then you experienced sameness. And if you look at this chart, right, this is the whole 70s and oil embargo and tanking of taking the U.S. dollar off of the gold standard, and then there's this here, which is a reaction to that, right? So you had taking us off the gold standard, oil crisis, and all this crappy stuff happened here. Then there's a drop. So this is turmoil, right? But from 85 to 2000, same. I mean, of course, there was 2001, and you see the little blip here, right? Boom, 2001. Then you start seeing stuff happening, right? For 5 years, you see all this movement here. You see all this movement. Where's '01 at? 2001. Okay, from here, right? And then boom, 2005. 85, 2005. Just, I mean, so if you were a kid, right? If you were born in the 80s, and then you're 20 years old, you finish with high school, you have a job, maybe wife, kids, going to college, finish college. This is all you know. You know you're a normal person. You know stability. And then boom. Look at this. 2005, 2010 jumps up, right? I was buying gold for $250 in 2004-5, right? Boom, thing. And look, I could switch to gold right now, but I already know the prices. 200, because I remember buying it. $250 for a gold eagle. 250, 300, and then went up to $800. So everything went up. Okay, and then dropped back down. This is silver. So for 4 years, stability. Now it's going to break out. So I bought, and again, I'm only talking about 20 Silver Eagles. I mean, I got a lot more than that, but I'm just saying, I did the video on buying the 20 Silver Eagles. If when 2200 becomes the support for gold, silver's going to, because there's the 80 to 1, right? For basically for silver, or is it 80 or 85? Whatever it is, I'm going to say 80 to 1. So if gold jumps up 20%, silver has not jumped up 20% in 4 years. I'd buy enough if I could still get a 20 pack of Silver Eagles for $29 a piece, under $600 shipped. I'm probably gonna buy another one. I could see silver going to $30. It has to. It has to. Now, will it drop down? Yeah, it can go to 30, then drop back down to 25. But then 25 becomes the support. Right now, 25 is not the support. Right now, I'm going to say 22 is the support. 23 is the support. But if it jumps up to 30 and then swings between 26 and 32, then 25 would be the support ish. Then that's it. That's it. You're never going to get another Silver Eagle again for $29. That's it. So that's why I did the video. I cannot believe gold is at, let's check, is at, see, and platinum went up. Everything's up. Everything's up. So you know what that means? Boom. Something, that means the stock, NASDAQ and all this has to be going down. Usually that's the inverse relationship between precious metals and the stock market. Even though some of it, but there's something going on. That's crazy. Inflation, it's impossible for precious metals to stay low. I mean, it could be for a year, 2 years, 5 years, but it's impossible because inflation is out of control. Inflation is like hundreds of percents. It costs double today to buy food than it did 5 years ago. So that's 100%. That's just for food. Other things are up more than 100%. But that's incredible. I mean, 100%. So gold was 5 years ago. Gold was whatever. I could just click on. I'm gonna say 5 years ago was 1700, 16, 1700. 5 years. Okay, exactly 5 years ago it was 1300. But let's go right over here. Yeah, 15. That's still 2020. All right, 4 years ago it was 1600. So between 4 years ago, between 1600, I mean, if you really want to go to 1200, 1300, that's crazy. But let's just stick it at 1500, okay? And that's 2019. So that is 5 years ago. I'm sorry. So it was 15. I was correct. 1500 and 2000, which was a year ago. Well, not really. 2000 was recent. Yeah, 2024. February 2024 was 2000. Okay, hold on a second. Let's see. When was the last time it was 2000? Oh, November. Okay, the end. It stopped being about 2000 the end of 2023. So 2023, 2020, 2020, 2021, 2023. Okay, 4 years to go up $400. So that's $100 a year. Okay, well, it just went up $200 in 4 months. It's the market. We're going into the recession, hardcore right now, or the depression. So it's like that's it. It's going to be panic mode soon. And then silver hasn't followed. Silver has not went up. Um, hasn't went up 20%. 20%. Oh, has it? Let me see. I don't want to say something that's incorrect. Has silver went up 20% in 4 months? Let's go to 2023. Oh. No, not quite. It was 23. It went up $2. Close. It's close. It's close. It's close. No, it's 2024. 2023, $23 to 25. It went up $2 in the past 4 months, 5 months. It's close. It's close. So I have to say, but you can see, look, it's up and down for how long we're talking about. Let's go to 5 years again. Not really, man. I mean, it was 2023, so it hasn't been following gold. See, 5 years was 5 years ago. Okay, it was six. So it did see, it followed gold here. It followed gold here, stood the same. And it's been hovering around that since 2020. It's been hovering around that $22. So it went up and it really stood stable in the 20s. Silver really stood stable in the 20s for the past 4 years. But you don't see that jump. You see the jump here in 2020, but you don't see the jump here. It's going to jump. It's going to jump. I'm telling you. It's going to jump. There's no jump. There's no jump. It's pretty stable for 4 years. It's going to jump. And that's it. So this is what I'm saying. So check it out. So when this pattern here, this pattern here, this pattern here, this pattern here, this pattern here. Now the next pattern, this is 30, is going to be here. This is the next pattern. It's just, I mean, it's just the way it's going, right? I wish if I had an arrow, I'm going to use this for my thumbnail, and I'm going to put an arrow going like this. So this is the next support, and that's it. Then 25 is going to be cheap. 25 is going to be cheap. Excuse me. 30 is going to be cheap. I got it 29 something. 30 is going to be cheap, cheap, cheap. You know, it's not going to be no 30. If it's $30, then premium and all that, then the premium for the Silver Eagle. What am I saying? 35 is going to be cheap when it hits $30 an ounce. 35 is going to be cheap. Is that a tremendous amount of money? Well, for 20 silver, if it goes up $5, if they add another dollar premium, then it's six. So let's give it $6. That's $60 for every 10. That's $120. $120 instead of spending $580, you're spending $700. And away we go. All right, so I want to do a video on that. Silver is still at 20, under 25. Meanwhile, gold is at, let's refresh it. Gold is at, I just wanted to see if it went up. It did. I don't know if it went up or not. Was it 16 and it's 18 now? Whatever it is, it's 22.13 right now. So silver's going to follow. Bottom line. All right. Thanks. God bless. I hope you enjoyed this, and I'll see you on the next one.